Hello, everyone. Welcome to another session of the Accra Indie Film Festival's conversation with the filmmakers. And today we're going to be having a conversation with a filmmaker representing Ghana. Yeah, so this particular documentary is representing Ghana. Please, I'm not biased. Don't worry. It's just because we are in Ghana. That is why I'm excited like that. But yes, I'm always excited to speak to any filmmaker from anywhere in the world. So this particular filmmaker has it's a documentary, and you know what? I'm going to allow him to do all the talking. So he's going to introduce himself. He's actually Atsu Sikanku, and he's going to tell us more about himself and his journey. But don't forget, the reason why we are having these conversations is because the festival is drawing very, very near, from the 31st of July to the 5th of August, 2023. Don't forget these dates. We're going to be having screenings of films, a whole lot of workshops, amazing, amazing stuff going on at the Alliance Française. So don't miss any of them. I am your usual host, as always, Alice Johnson. You can call me AJ for short. So let's get into it. You're welcome, Atsu.
Thank you, AJ. Yeah, and I prefer to be called Atsu Sikanku. Because that's how most people call me. But it's fine if people call me Gabriel, but I prefer Atsu.
Okay, all right, then that's great. Okay, so Atsu, tell us about yourself, a filmmaker, and the journey so far.
So Atsu Sikanku is the co-founder of Esports Africa News and Esports Africa Tournament, and quite invested in other esports organizations like Gigs Game City in Ghana and EDS in Sierra Leone. So I'd say the credit goes to people like Gigs Game City, Yuba, and Solo, who gave me the opportunity to get into esports, and Kwesi Hayford from the Esports Association Ghana, where I'm also an executive. And particularly for this documentary, I like to credit the right people. I'm sat here because of time skills. We needed to do this for the event, but we couldn't get the other team members who are at the moment doing other duties. So I like to credit Mauli Sikanku, because he's been the one behind the camera directing affairs, and he's been the one who's done the legwork. I've done most of the, what do you call it, coordination and stuff like that, but the hard work was done by Mauli Sikanku and Jeff Jacobi Donko. So I like to give them all the credit on this. I'm only sat here as the mouthpiece of the organization to try and elaborate on what we've done.
All right. Okay, so kudos to you if you are listening. I hope they are watching right now. So we'd like to say thank you for making such a masterpiece that has made it into the Accra Indie Film Festival. And we are excited to have you on board this year for the festival. So filmmaking and esports, where does it converge for you as a person?
I think it's more of a if I say spark, because it's exciting, and if I say it's a bomb, it's because it's massive. There's a lot to unearth. So esports, if I take it from the perspective of a viewer, party starts from when this gamer picks up his controllers and then sets himself in motion by playing the game. You as a viewer, you are immersed with the challenge of man versus machine, and sometimes it's man versus man through a machine. And so that challenge is massive. We've got mini genres like football, Tekken, which is a fighter game. We've got NBA 2K, which is basketball. And it's fascinating because the challenge is that you are in control or semi-in control using a machine with so many limitations or so many advantages to try and win a competition. And that is the excitement about it. Followers are community groups. When you're in secondary school, you normally have like old students association, and those communities are knitted. The FIFA community is different from the Tekken community, and they understand each other. They understand what they do. So that is where the excitement comes from. But apart from that, people just like the whole razzmatazz of gaming because of the competition, the speed, and the excitement with the graphics behind them. So I think filmmaking, esports is just they're cousins, and it's a union bound to happen, and it's a union going to go forever.
Amazing stuff. And then it's hard, you hardly hear of these things, the esports. Yes, we know a number of gamers, and then you probably see, for instance, maybe the YouTube community, you see a number of people that, oh, I'm a gamer on YouTube, and then you're like, oh, okay, interesting. But then getting a grasping the sense of what exactly it is and knowing that there's a whole community is another thing altogether. So kudos to you, and then we are happy that we have the opportunity or the platform to actually interact with you and get to educate ourselves. So tell me, what is esports in just a nutshell to someone who has never heard it before? And how did you all come together with an association and basically find yourselves? How did you find yourselves and say, okay, this is an association we are going to form as, Esports Africa?
So Esports Africa News and Esports Africa Tournament are private enterprises, but
Okay.
the mention of Esports Association Ghana is a group of anyone involved in esports, whether you're an athlete, you are a game center, you're a media organization like that, like us, or a tournament organization like Esports Africa Tournament. It's an association, so you can get involved. But specifically, this was produced by Esports Africa Tournament and Esports Africa
Okay.
News. So esports is putting it together is electronic gaming made into competitive scenarios. So it's become a thing that anything that you make into competition becomes a sport. Well, becomes competition, but it qualified into sports when over the period people argued that the legal definition of sports, it's got some of the parameters of the legal definition of sports. So if we complete over a period, over certain categories, then it can become a sport. The argument has been on. But the good thing is that this year we've had Olympics in esports, we've had Asian Games in esports. Last year I was at Birmingham to cover the Commonwealth Games. Unfortunately, Ghana and Nigeria couldn't make it, but South Africa, Kenya was there.
Okay.
FIFA, Copenhagen, I covered Copenhagen, where Morocco was the only African team that turned up. Well, not qualified, but this year Morocco, South Africa were in the Gamers 8 event, which I think the prize money was 10 million or something like that, some big sums like that. So esports, not just people behind the PCs playing or consoles playing, it's actually a profession, and it's got a long list of persons involved in the whole space. The gamer is just the pinnacle. It's just the icing on the cake. Before you get a gamer, you've got a team. Before you've got a team, you've got the console, you've got the game developers, you've got the shoutcasters, you've got the team managers, merchandise. There's a whole lot of people behind one single gamer who comes out to be like the icing on the cake or the guy making the rounds in the media.
For me, this is it's like a learning session where I'm able to get to know a lot more, even though I had seen a number of things, but then this is really a learning, and I hope it's a learning session for you also as you're watching. That esports is not just people sitting behind the machine and then maybe with the console. It's a whole team of people, and it's actually people's work. This is what people do for a living, so we have to give respect to them as well. It's a profession just like any other profession out there. So I'd like you to elaborate on this particular documentary that has made it into the Accra Indie Film Festival, Africa, the Last Frontier in Esports, Animation, and Game Development. What was the inspiration behind this documentary?
So in a group, you normally have leaders, you have inspirational colleagues, you've got the doers, the technical guys in the group. And I'll be honest with you, I am not the best guy in the group. In the group, I'm sort of the one who's putting on a Christmas tree, putting a star on the Christmas tree. Yeah, I'm the one doing that. But the stronger guys are Jefta Kopidonko, Mauli Sikanku and his team, Leroy, Ajua, Yale, Georgette. Those guys are the guys doing the work. So the journey for this particular documentary started long before we applied for the Accra Indie Festival. We're doing some work with Geekscape City, GGC. They are a tournament operating organization in Ghana. They do the Golden Hour tournament, and I'm a partner in GGC as well. After the events, the visibility was only limited to literally Ghana, and I had a few friends in England who were into esports and into media. I
Mm-hmm.
invited them to look at what we got because I felt coming from Africa, oh, there's something happening out there. It will be interesting for them. One
Mm-hmm.
of them actually said, I'm sorry, but it's not my clientele's, it's not my people's sort of interest, so I cannot promote it. I mean, it really hits me hard. And
Wow.
that was one of the reasons why Esports Africa News started. I mean, it's a positive thing. Sometimes in
Mm-hmm.
life, you need to be knocked down to be able to see where you need to go. And we took it on the chin. Kobe, myself, and a few other guys started Esports Africa News. And the whole premise of Esports Africa News was to promote everything esports, animation, and game development from Africa. So we've been doing this for 3 years. Um, we've had speaking opportunities. We've traveled a few countries to cover events: Ghana, Nigeria, Ivory Coast, South Africa. We've covered a few events, and we've got partners in Australia, America, and and in England as well. So that is the journey. Then still, we've had questions being asked. Do you know about esports in Africa? And the place was silent. But for me, it was an opportunity to say, it's good you don't know about it. Now I can tell you.
Mm-hmm.
But at the back of my mind, I was heartbroken because for 2 years now, I've been working hard trying to promote esports in Africa, and we cannot see the people. People don't have the visibility of it. So another area of participation was to produce a documentary and also try to submit it to various, festivals. The good thing is that we got recognized by yourselves, which is very, very important for us. I've had a few contacts from people who have viewed our submission and they're really keen and interested in it. And I'm like, yeah, this is what we're talking about. We
Mm-hmm.
need to give people the platform to speak. And let me say this, we bootstrapped this and we self-funded this. No one has given us a penny for this. You know, Mauli, credit to Mauli. Mauli traveled, on SDC across the border with all the challenges to Ivory Coast to cover that. And
Mm-hmm.
credit to them. We recorded from Ivory Coast and we captured all the salient guys involved in esports. We've got Letty Arts, who's a game developer, and there's the Ghana Game Developers Association as well. So it's not just Letty doing this, there are a host of other people doing all sorts of mobile games, and they're part of the PPAG. So it's a bigger community, game developers. That is just a whole minefield altogether. Then we've got the likes of Yuba talking about esports tournaments. We've got the likes of Kwesi talking about um, uh, the association and what esports stands for Africa. And then Monica is a very, very talented esports athlete. She's the best female esports athlete in Ghana, comes to
Wow.
FIFA, and she's really good at what she does. And she's an inspiration to many, many girls. We used to have a lot of competitions that involve females, but it's the support needed to be able to promote these events that's lacking. So we've seen a lot of these girls coming out. But I would say that credit to her, she's really good and she's doing her best in what she does.
It's very interesting. What I took from all what you said right now is self-funding, which has been like the motto for every single filmmaker I've spoken to over this series that we are doing for the festival. Self-funding, you have to find the funds yourself. Sometimes when you are pushed to the wall, that is when you realize that I need to do this by myself. Hey, if you don't want to fund or you don't want to help us promote this, we're going to do it ourselves. So that's another thing. And then most importantly, the power of film to educate, because by watching the film, I have been enlightened, I have been educated, and I had no idea this even existed. And it's interesting to note that this is actually a thing. People are actually surviving of this. And we are mentioning names that I have never heard before. But then, due to the film, by watching it, I have been enlightened. And that's the power of film. And that's why we are urging you, if you are watching this interview right now, come over to the festival, 31st of July to the 5th of August. Come and experience, come and learn, broaden your horizon, because that's the beauty of film. It's very interesting, the passion with which you speak about esports. And this is just a more personal question, like which particular sports in there, or I don't know how you put it, maybe your categories, whether it's the genre. Okay, thank you. Just like film, I guess. So which genre of the esports are you more conversant in, and you would definitely, win on any day?
Okay, don't laugh at this, but
Okay. I'll
Just
try.
Dance.
Just Dance.
Yeah,
That's the name
it's
of the
that,
genre.
it's
Okay.
Nintendo Switch game. And
Okay.
basically you've got images on your screen, like I can see you. So they'll have, depending on the music, you have 2 or 5 people on the screen or one
Okay.
person, and then they play the music like Jerusalem. So Just Dance 2022 has got Jerusalem on it, and it's a hit. Um, with that, it's Africans like dancing, and for my background, I've always not that I'm a good dancer, but like I've got some moves, so I try to win on that level. And Just Dance was also an Olympic sport. It was also an Olympic sport.
Wow.
So it was recently. The good thing about Just Dance, right? Anybody can participate, right? So I'm sorry to say, to try and drag you, but this is me talking about what I love most. So
Oh,
just
please go ahead.
the thing about Just Dance is, take it from uh babysitting mothers. They can
Mm,
have a session, right, with the
mhm.
babies, for postnatal trauma or whatever. Have a session with
Okay.
their babies and have a screen with Just Dance, and they can dance with their babies, right? Take
Mhm.
them to nursery school, have it on the screen, give it to the kids, they will dance. Take it to primary school, give it to the kids, they will dance. We send exercise through that. We say they're not active, they're always watching screens. Yes, they can watch the screen, but they can do something more with it. Take it to
Mm,
GSS. Talk about GSS. We organize, that's Esports Africa Tournament. We organize the Africa leg of the Fuse Global Championship. So it's a girls' competition with an Australian firm. So we
okay.
do this every year. Last Afterwards from Kumasi won and represented Africa. And then
Okay.
this year, North Legon represented Africa. So take it GSS, girls, boys, mix, whatever, they playing. Take it to SS. It can be part of, the whole curriculum thing.
Mhm.
We actually also did a corporate session with 3FM. And basically after work, Friday night, I think they do it once a
Mhm.
month. Friday night, we provide that scenario for people to participate in. You know,
Okay.
um, products like fan eyes, things that relate to young people can be used for
Mhm.
activation. Get them to participate in this, just dancing, winning, you know, take you to the hospital, right? When people are recovering from, you know, their illnesses, or they're trying
Mhm.
to cheer themselves up, a bit
Mhm.
of exercise here, with just dance, we'll get them doing it. Take it to trauma zones. People will just participate. Africans like to dance. So get them
Absolutely.
involved in these. So just dance is one of my favorite games because it doesn't
Mm.
require massive skills to play. And that's my favorite games. But yeah, the good thing is that I know Kobe is bringing a set of um, Nintendo Switches and some of the games to the event. So hopefully you should participate. I want to see a video of you on it.
I will, I absolutely will. And yeah, viewers, we're going to be just dancing. We're going to have so much fun over there at the festival. So come
Yeah.
around, come with your friends, family. It's family friendly. Everybody can participate in it, and it's beautiful because people have the impression that esports is about sitting down and not getting active, and people think that, oh, these people are not healthy because they don't move around, they're always sitting at one spot. But there you have it. There is a genre called just dance, and I'm sure there are others that require some movement as well. If you're not engaging in esports or any of your activities, all the associations that you're a part of, and even when you're not just dancing, what do you do? What do you like to indulge in?
Okay. So socially, I think I like papa movements.
Can you please elaborate for?
So projects. I like to get involved in projects, sharp projects. So
Mhm,
it's an idea, exciting,
mhm,
deliver it and then finish it off. So it could be in a youth project, it could be in a construction project, it could be in, so I get involved in other people's business and that kind of thing. So when someone, my background is construction and construction law as well.
mhm.
So and then media, esports, and everything else is secondary to that. So I've got quite a wide spectrum of interest. So I do get involved in papa movements like that.
Quack, movement. So anything that is, sharp, 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 keep it moving,
Yeah,
something that
keep it
will,
moving. That's it.
in a few words or sentences, speak to our audience and tell them the reason why they should come and watch this documentary.
Please come to the Accra Indie Film Festival to learn about esports, learn about the spectrum in esports from education to health to employment. It's going to be a game changer in the next 3 years because it's going to be the alternative employment, the gig economy. There are a range of roles to be played within the esports industry, and it's growing at a fast rate that you need to align yourself to be able to participate in these events. So I encourage you to get involved, whether you are an educational person, professional, or just interested in something new. It's a way to go and it's the future.
It's a way to go in the future. You've heard it all from himself, Atsu Sikanku. Thank you so much for coming on and then also letting us know the big names behind the project as well, you know, sharing the spotlight with your colleagues and then also shedding light on the documentary that is going to be showing at the festival. We really appreciate this education. It's been like a class for me because I've learned so much and I know you will learn a lot more when you watch the film. So come around, everyone watching this right now, 31st of July to the 5th of August. But stay tuned to our social media platforms because the particular dates and venue will be communicated so that you don't miss out on anything at all. But thank you so much, Atsu Sikanku, for joining us today. It's been amazing. I have really enjoyed your energy and you know just the passion with which you speak about what you love. So thank you so much.
You're welcome, AJ. Thank you for the opportunity to. Congratulations to all the guys who were nominated. It's great to engage with them because behind the scenes, I've sort of seen your interviews. I've engaged with most of the people, so it's great to meet other, filmmakers as well. I'm learning from them.
Yes, definitely. And congratulations to you too on the screening of your film. We are really excited for what is to come in the future for Africa, esports, film, and everything that has to do with creativity. So thank you all so much for watching this episode. We're going to come with another episode where we would speak to another filmmaker concerning the festival and just filmmaking in general. So enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.
Thank you.